Howdy, folks. Happy hour to you. TGI Mamma Jammin' F. It's Friday. Could you tell? I could tell because I'm doing this. Must be Friday if I'm doing this. I'm turning on the comments now. I can't see who comes in, so if you want me to know you're here, shout it out in the comments. No trolls allowed. Since it's happy hour, I'm going to crack open a cold one here. Man, that really picked up. Quiet, huh? I think you'll find it's not when I get going, though. If it is, let me know. I just mumble. Off the rails and over the moon. Hey, am I doing it right? Suffering slings and arrows. Hey, won't you come out tonight? We'll practice casting shadows. A game of letting me down, a game of shoot me in the dark. Till the cops come around, find my body in the park. I thought I understood the part about love is all that matters. Thought I had an unshakable heart before it shook and shattered. The way you fall in love, but you never hit the ground. You can't get up and you can't stay down. And hey, well, isn't that the way? For every song I've sung and every wrong I've run, I give my heart on a platter. And I do repent if I don't make sense. I've lost so much gray matter. I've been busy in this hell-bent downhill slide, dizziest train that you ever will ride. Off the rails and over the moon. Come back to the world, gonna miss you soon. Hard enough for that 7 come 11. Hey, have I got enough stuff to get me into heaven? Half the time treading water, half pissing in the wind. I'm shaking in my boots and a shiver in my skin all day. Well, isn't that the way? For every song I've sung and every wrong I've rung, I give my heart on a platter. And I do repent if I don't make sense. I've lost so much gray matter. Been busy in this hell-bent downhill slide, dizziest train that you ever will ride. Off the rails and over the moon. Come back to the world, gonna miss you soon. Kids naked in a wildflower meadow. All that anybody ever did is practice casting shadow. Do the best you can, whatever shape you're in, and you try to look surprised if you get to go around again. Go around again. For every song I've sung and every wrong I've rung, I give my heart on a platter. And I do repent if I don't make sense. I've lost so much gray matter. Been busy in this hell-bent downhill slide, dizziest train that you ever will ride. Off the rails and over the moon. come back to the world, gonna miss you soon. Come back, gonna miss you soon. Come back, gonna miss you. Woo-hoo. All right. Underway. Friday underway. Well, here we go. We have proof that you can count on Jim Akers to be at the bar at Tellus360, no matter what dimension Tellus360 does or doesn't exist in at the time. Even if it's entirely virtual, probably even if they shot it into space, Jim would probably still be sitting there at Tellus360. Hey, Jim, good to see you in avatar form. Hey, y'all. Hey, Jane, Jenny's mom, good to see you again. It's been a while since Clonakilty International Guitar Fest, eh? Very different times we're living now. Howdy down in North Carolina. I've been dreaming about those North Carolina mountains lately. I've been doing a lot of mushroom hunting here at home in Pennsylvania and thinking about how good the mushroom hunting down in the North Carolina mountains must be. Got all kinds down there. Well, it's nice to be here at virtual Tellus360. I miss the place, and although this doesn't do much to alleviate that, it's wonderful of Tellus to continue to host local musicians even into this bizarro era that we've entered. That last song was from my latest album, The Halloween Tapes by Vinegar Creek Constituency Duo. I'm going to do another one for you from that same record. Sky called heaven, take us when we die. I had a dream about a big blue sky called heaven. Admission free, no one left out or left behind. And I saw Jesus walking on the water, flying in an aeroplane, baby. Big blue sky called heaven, take us when we die. And is my soul gonna make it? And when I go, who'll stay with me by my side? What will I do there? Just float around forever, stare at my reflection in the blue sky. Big blue sky called heaven, take us when we die. Now tell me who would want to live forever? And tell me why should not a sinner get to see the Holy Ghost, the saints and the Madonna, find my own nirvana in the blue sky. Big blue sky called heaven, take us when we die. Big blue sky called heaven, take us when we die. Big blue sky called heaven, take us when we die. We'll all just float there in the happily ever after, eternal laughter of the blue sky. Big blue sky called heaven, take us when we die. Big blue sky called heaven, take us when we die. Big blue sky called heaven, take us when we die. There's a little ditty about the afterlife for you called Big Blue Sky. Hopefully you guys should be able to hear me better now. I realized that one of my 2 microphones wasn't getting sent to the stream there. Sorry about that. This studio has been serving all of my purposes recently. And so it went from doing a recording project yesterday to a video project this morning to doing this now. So I forgot to re-push a button that needed re-pushing. Hey Gwen, good to see you. If y'all have any requests, if you know any of my songs or any songs that you heard me do, that I'll attempt it if it seems to make sense. No calling a freebird. Virtual freebird calling is every bit as frowned upon as actual freebird calling, just in case you didn't know, folks. So if anybody calls freebird, I'll spend the entirety of the rest of the broadcast playing a version of Freebird with really foul lyrics. Just a heads up there. Yeah. Alrighty. I'm going to do a song from an album my band Vinegar Creek Constituency made 2 years ago called Amerikinda Sorta. Oh, you can wind those loving arms around me. Let's don't get kicked around by gravity. I always put up such a fight, but I never get it right. And you're bound to wind up on the floor with me. Outside those February raindrops are falling. Night crawlers twisted in the street. They come up when rain comes down, just to drink until they drown. Sometimes nighttime does that same old thing to me. Sometimes I fall out of bed when I'm dreaming. Forces of nature make such a fool of me. Oh, I might love you, I could fall, beat my head against your wall. Baby, I just can't stay on my feet. When I was a kid just out of high school, my mama said, don't you go falling love, love, love. When you gaze into her eye, oh, it might not look so high. Wait till you take the dive from up above. Sometimes I fall out of bed when I'm dreaming. Forces of nature make such a fool of me. Oh, I might love you, I could fall, beat my head against your wall. Baby, I just can't stay on my feet. When I was a baby in my cradle, flat on my back where I was supposed to be, there was an angel hanging round, saying, buddy, just stay down. Oh, you ain't built for verticality. Now my heart keeps knocking like a Bible salesman. My head keeps spinning like a fish on reel. They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, gal, but I say it's paved with banana peels. Sometimes I fall out of bed when I'm dreaming, forces of nature make such a fool of me. Oh, I might love you, I could fall, beat my head against your wall. Baby, I just can't stay on my feet. Oh, I might love you, I could fall, beat my head against your wall. Baby, I just can't stay on my feet. Friday night, folks. Friday night. Who's getting crazy right now? Who's trashing their own house and splashing pig's blood on the walls and smashing beer bottles and stuff? You can admit it. This is a safe space. What are y'all doing out there on this Friday night while you're watching this broadcast? What are you cooking? What do you got cooking? The people want to know. Especially me. All right. We have a request for the moon, a silver dime from Gwen. I can do the moon, a silver dime for you. This is a title track of an album I came out with back in 2011, folks. A song I wrote on one of my birthdays, thinking about fortune and its weird twists and turns, and good luck and bad luck, and good fortune and bad fortune, and fate, and all that stuff. Well, who cares if we got heartache here, my boy? We can hold it close until it kills us to endure it. They say one man's sorrow is another's joy, one's head is another's tail. So I flip you for it. Perhaps the sky is just a big dark place to get lost. Maybe the moon is just a silver dime to be told. Call out in the air, wish upon its chime. Oh, brother, tell me, can you spare the moon, a silver dime? Lord knows that old bitch fortune loves a game to hide among the leaves. Hound sucker punch the rover. You wager happiness and love, failure or fame, with a reckless heart to breathe until the game is over. Perhaps the sky is just a big dark place to get lost. Maybe the moon is just a silver dime to be told. Call out in the air, wish upon its chime. Oh, brother, tell me, can you spare the moon, a silver dime? silver dime. You need a blanket and a pillow for your bed, a doorway full of rain, a heart that beats too loud too often. Like a friend left off the rain cloud overhead, but luck may follow you straight down into your coffin. Perhaps the sky is just a big dark place to get lost. Maybe the moon is just a silver dime to be told. Call out in the air where sun its shine. Oh brother, tell me, can you spare the moon a silver dime? Call out in the air where sun its shine. Oh brother, tell me, can you spare the moon a silver dime? Moon a silver dime, folks. I'll assume you're all screaming wildly, tearing at your hair, Beatlemania style. Whew. Well, this is one of my 3 weekly live stream shows I've been doing. The 3 times of the week that I put on real pants and clothes with buttons and stuff. It's a special occasion, and I observe it by wearing pants and buttons. I'll do you this, a cover song here. How about a Tom Petty song? Who doesn't like Tom Petty? Nobody I want to be associated with, that's for sure. Let's see here. Yeah. Somebody usually requests this one anyway, so I'll just beat you to the punch here, hopefully. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea. Sail away, kill off the hours. You belong somewhere you feel free. Run away, find you a lover. Run away somewhere all bright and new. I have seen no other who compares with you. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea. You belong with your love on your arm. You belong somewhere you feel free. Run away, find you a lover. Far away, let your heart be your guide. You deserve the deepest of cover. You belong in that home by and by. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere close far away from your troubles and worries. You belong somewhere you feel free. You belong somewhere you feel free. Wildflowers by Tom Petty. I'm picking up a little something on the Ringo cam down here. Let me see what's going on. Yep, just as I suspected, the Ringo cam is live down there, chilling underneath the piano. Looks like a pretty good spot for a nap, under the piano. Toothless grin, a swallow's nest, a lover's vow, a banker's breast, bells and whistles, diamond rings, the sleeper car on the midnight train to Colorado Springs, a drifter's pocket, a beggar's hand, the gas tank of a traveling dog bar band, an open throat about to sing. Oh, bless these almost empty things. An open road, a waiting womb. Here is erected rabbi's tomb, magnolia branches before the spring. Oh, bless these almost empty things. If this were all completely full of shit, nothing beautiful could fit. The cup that runneth over can't catch no spring rain water. You can't clasp a hand whose fist is full of dollars. Buddhists have it in their text that everything is emptiness. Bet in my next lifetime that what it means is bless these almost empty things. Last night I dreamed a beggar's dream. The moon rolled out one faded beam, And for some reason, there was you, almost empty-handed too. That's a pretty new song of mine called Almost Empty Things. It's not on an album yet, but it probably will be soon. I don't know. Albums cost a lot of money, and these days when I don't even actually have access to any studio but my home studio, I'm just thinking more and more about releasing my own stuff. So I'm kind of cobbling together an album that I'm writing and recording during this quarantine. We'll see how long it goes. It might be an EP. It might be a full length. Only the fates will tell. How you doing, Ringo? Uh-oh, he's coming in. Look out. This happens at least once a show, guys. Sorry if you're new here. I know this is the Tellus360 page, so some of you guys are probably new to my shtick. It he sees himself. He doesn't like it. Part of my shtick is that I get invaded by a dog at least 2 or 3 times a show, and he forces himself into my lap, and then it takes a minute or two to get rid of him. Hi, Lois. Good to see you. Good to see you. Did you find the place okay? Everybody find the place okay? Tellus360 is a lot harder to see when it's not a physical entity, isn't it? Ringo, bud, you gotta hop down. Come on. Yeah, Manor. Yep. Come on. Hey, come on. Folks, it's May 1st, and May 1st, as you may be aware, is International Workers' Day, whatever that may mean to you. What it means to me right now is that this COVID-19 pandemic has given us a very different idea of what kind of work is important and when it's important, and who has to do it, and what they get for having to do it. For my part, I'm a worker in song. As of 2 months ago, I was a full-time live performing musician, performing in nightclubs like Tellus360, fine establishments like that, and also lots of other kinds of places, private house parties. I do a lot of senior homes, at least I did. Nobody's allowed in the senior homes anymore, and for good reason. So I'm still a worker in song. I'm still a full-time musician making a living playing music, but now I rely upon the generosity and appreciation of folks like you watching online to support me in what I'm doing. So if you value your experiences with live stream music, if it brings a little bit of a lift to your day, brings you a little bit of joy watching with your family or all by your lonesome or whatever you're doing, and you'd like to contribute to my broadcast, there are my links down there for Venmo and PayPal. I've put a lot of money and time and work into doing a good quality broadcast here. I've been tweaking my equipment and my setup all along the way, and practicing and writing new material and stuff like that. So I try to do the best show that I can for you. And if you dig it and you're able to contribute a little bit, I sure would appreciate that. If not, that's totally cool too. If you're having financial hard times, or you just don't feel like it, or whatever it is, no worries. Please do enjoy the show anyway. I just wanted to give you the option of supporting the broadcast. I'm doing this 3 times a week on my own page, Leo DiSanto music page. If you don't follow that, please consider doing so. What do we got here? Oh, all right. Okay. All right. Angela has brought it to my attention that it's Nurses Month, which obviously deserves a great deal of mention these days. The folks that are out there literally risking their asses to try to keep the rest of us safe from this pandemic, keep people alive, keep people well. Thanks for all you guys are doing. You deserve a month every year. It shouldn't just be this year. Happy Nurses Month. And that fits in well with Workers' Day, because the nurses are some of the most essential of the essential workers that are out there right now. Thank you guys for the sacrifices you're making. There's no baking bread and watching Netflix all day long for the nurses, right? These guys are out there
doing critical and I'm sure very scary and very emotionally traumatic work. So we appreciate them. We appreciate you. If you're a nurse and you're watching, I appreciate you. If I would have had my shit together a little bit, I would have learned a Woody Guthrie song about labor or something. I know a lot of Woody Guthrie songs about the Dust Bowl and about, I don't know, different things, but not one of the right ones. So I'm going to do a song of mine that's kind of about the workforce. I don't know if a lot of people realize that know the song, because there's certain lines that people tend to fixate on. This is a song that I wrote after my band Vinegar Creek Constituency has gotten to do a few tours of Ireland, which is always way too much fun for my own good personally, I know. It always took me a while to recover from those. And on one of our last couple of tours there, people kept saying to me when we'd be leaving the bar, they'd say, "Hey, one more for the ditch, lads, one more for the ditch," which meant, stay for another one, and then probably another one after that, and probably another one after that, and you're probably going to wake up in a ditch. Fortunately, Ireland has the most brilliant emerald green ditches that you'll ever see, and it's a place that anybody would be privileged to lay their head compared to, like, let's say a roadside ditch in Toledo or something. Nothing against Toledo, folks. Hi, if you're in Toledo. And I just like the phrase a lot. It hit the songwriter circuits in my brain, and I wrote a song called "One More for the Ditch." This is about working folks in the modern day. I've never done this one without my band, I don't think, so we'll see how it flies. I nosed the grindstone in my salad days, bagging groceries for the man. It was a steady job, but the bills came every day. Ripped the paycheck right out of my hand. Then the automation put me on the bricks. It's hard to earn an honest buck these days. Welcome to the rich man's century again. Billionaire's the only job that pays. I hit this tavern down on Grand Street where the girls dance on the bar. I like my turkey pretty wild. Then the jukebox choked and the needle skipped the groove. Everyone looked up but no one smiled, and the barman snarled when it turned out I couldn't pay, and hit a chunk of lumber off the bar. So I guessed it best to hop past and freight when they sent for the feathers and the tar. It ain't so hard, it ain't so easy though. Anyway, I guess you got to let it go. There's a hangdog moon up high, the devil's crouching low. One more for the ditch, one more to roll it off the road. Oh, the railroad men taught me how to jump a train, hold down liquor made from turpentine. Just when things went wrong, I really couldn't say. They turned on me somewhere along the line, and they filled a greasy pillowcase with rustic carriage bolts, and beat me till they had to break for lunch. Now I don't go down to the rail yard anymore. At least I don't go down there all that much. It ain't so hard, it ain't so easy though. Anyway, it's better not to let it show. There's a hangdog moon up high, the devil's crouching low. One more for the ditch, one more to roll it off the road. Oh no, you can't go home again, you can't go any place except for any place you've never been. Now I've got rabies, scabies, scurvy, and the clap, and I don't even know what state I'm in. And I can't go back to the supermarket line. Just wait until those nickels trickle down, down, down. Welcome to the rich man's century again. He's gonna make it rain in every town. It ain't so hard, it ain't so easy though.
Anyway, it's better not to let it show. There's a hangdog moon up high, the devil's crouching low. One more for the ditch, one more to roll it off the road. It ain't so hard, it ain't so easy though. Anyway, I guess you gotta let it go. There's a hangdog moon up high, the devil's crouching low. One more for the ditch, one more to roll it off the road. One more for the ditch, one more to roll it off the road.
I love it that when a song ends, you can hear, I don't know if you guys are getting that through all this condenser microphone stuff, but there's a little snippet of bird song coming in right there just as I hit off that last ugly minor 6 chord. It's pretty nice. I dug it. What do we have? Lolo Vec. Good to see you. All right. Jim's daughter's out there delivering babies, doing the good work, bringing humans into the world, trying to keep humans from going out of it prematurely. Salute. Salute, good people of the healthcare industry. I really, I know it's become a bit of a thing for everyone to talk a lot about that these days, but rightly so. And I really do admire you folks. Oh, he's coming back in, folks. He's coming back in. Look out. Oh, there he is. Yeah. I've got to allow this every now and again, you know. He's being pretty patient. At least he's not trashing the place and knocking over the light stands. You guys can't see it, but there's a lot of gear in here right now. And he could be doing substantially more damage than he's doing. If you haven't been introduced to him before, this is my best buddy Ringo. He enjoys running around in the hills and rolling in carcasses of dead things and eating shit of animals that I can't identify, and chewing bones really loudly and playing all the time, whether the creature he's playing with wants to or not. So that's what he does pretty much. He's been out in the hills with me every day this week, foraging and hiking. All right, bud, you got to get down here, dude. Come on, off. There you go, good boy. Yeah. I see. Hey, Melody, good to see you. Good to see you found your way over to virtual Tellus360. Virtual Tellus360. The decor at the actual Tellus360 is much nicer than what I've got going on here. All that old wood and such. But we persevere as we can and as we must, of course. I agree. Ringo does have a certain. I don't really know how he knows to look at the camera, because my camera is up above the computer and back behind the lights. He seems to know where it is somehow. I don't know. Ringo is a big personality. Absolutely nobody has told me what they're having for dinner tonight, and I'm a little bit upset and offended about it. I'll give you some more time.
Caledonia greets the clouds of Sunday morning. Bells are ringing, Eau Claire de la Lune. Silver jingles in the line and it rains all the time. If it ain't raining now, it must be raining soon. In her heart she's searching for the words to tell me she no longer wants me like I want her to. And I shake my head and smile, yeah, I've known that quite a while. I just thought I'd stick around till I was sure you knew I knew. But it's not the end, just a little darkness, is only moonlight on the wane. If this ain't love, it's something kinda like it. A little gray, a little rain. When Anadonia was a child, she was an orphan, talking to the sad-eyed lady in the moon. Destiny distantly shined like the Pickwick silver mine, so she stuck her thumb out on the road to ruin. Sometimes it's hard to know your hearts from your diamonds. Sometimes it's hard to know your heart at all. I've been dealt a losing hand and Anna called me, so I ran straight out of the frying pan and up against the wall. But it's not the end, just a little darkness. A little darkness is just like waiting to be born. If this ain't love, it's something kinda like it. A little flash and a little storm. Anadonia didn't know where she was going, never seemed to care what fate would bring. She's always trying to catch a thrill, wild enough to get her killed, which felt better than not feeling anything. Papers ask me where she's gone and I don't answer. Locked up somewhere, maybe in her grave. Running guns or running games, always running all the same. And it don't matter to or from, a wild bird dreads a cage, but it's not the end. It's just a little darkness. A little darkness is just like waiting to be born. This ain't love, it's something kinda like it. A little rose, a little thorn. It's not the end, it's just a little darkness. A little darkness is only moonlight on the wane. If this ain't love, it's something kinda like it. A little gray, a little rain. A little gray, a little rain. A little gray, a little rain. A little gray, a little rain.
You guys hear that one? That one's pretty loud. That bird's cutting through. That song was called Anadonia. That's from an album that just came out back in February of this year, but it seems like it was a completely different year, doesn't it? It's hard for me to believe that February was also 2020 and this is 2020 because existence is so much different. Back in February, come on, Ringo. Come on, man. Back in February, I was on tour with my mandolin player and pal, Jeff Bryson. We were down in New Orleans playing music with friends and doing shows and stuff. It's a very different time. We were out in support of an album called The Halloween Tapes. It's Vinegar Creek Constituency's first album as a duo. We've always recorded as a 5-piece band, but we tour a lot as a duo, so we made an album that way. Just to have, so people could have, we've done a lot of work to sound full as a 2-piece, and we thought it was about time it was captured in a document. I'll show you guys where you can, if you're interested in buying any music today to support this worker in song, there's the address right there, vinegarcreekconstituency.com/store. You can get all of our albums there, plus my solo album. I think there's 6 different albums available, and the price on all of them is pay what you will. You can pay $1 if that's what you can afford, or if that's what you think they're worth, or whatever. Pay what you will. I like to let people, when it comes to, art as a product, I like to let people choose with their own means and their own value system. So there you go. vinegarcreekconstituency.com/store to get any of my recordings. It's my own website, so I get to keep all the money. Nobody gets a cut. All right, let's see. We got some dinner updates here. We have Steven is having pasta with oil and garlic and red pepper. A classic. You really can't go wrong. There. Jim's having taquitos. Anything with taco as its prefix, you know you're in the right kind of shape. You know you're in the right position. See. Beyond Burgers for lunch. Yeah, I bet those are in high demand right now. The shit's coming down with the meat plants and such. We'll see how that turns out. If you are a meat eater and you're worried about that, consider checking out your local farmers, especially if you live here in Lancaster County, because we are blessed to have some beautiful farmland and some farmers who are doing work in ethical and caring and loving ways. I get all my meat from a farm called Rising Locust Farm. It's a member of my family works for them, but they're a small, sustainable permaculture farm out in Mannheim. They have a meat co-op you can join. The prices are very reasonable. It's all pastured stuff. So check that out if you're worried about the food shortage and you are a meat eater. Check out there's a lot of farms around here too. That's just one that comes to mind because that's the one I use. But support your local farmers, whether you're getting meat or veg. And that's, the best way to keep our food supply chain going is to keep it local. And in Lancaster, we can grow all our own food here. Anybody's lawn is potentially a food producing machine. So we're lucky that way. Folks in the cities don't have it quite so good as in that respect. Mussels and wine and hot garlic and hot pepper. That really grabs me. That sounds fantastic. I'm a big fan of shellfish and the wine and garlic and the hot pepper. That's good stuff. Just wine for dinner. That's also a sensible choice, within bounds. I never did too well with that kind of thing because, once you start the wine before the dinner on an empty stomach, things can get Western pretty quick. But I bet you know what you're doing there, Jane. And Melody is having a takeout steak sandwich and fries, another classic. There you go. What do we got here? I'm really harvesting your data for ideas is what I'm doing, because I'm going to make my one weekly trip to the grocery store immediately after this broadcast. I don't need too many things, so I'm just going to go get a few things, but I'm still deciding what I'm going to have. There we go. Tacos, sauteed veggies, guac, cashew, sour cream, and cornbread. Man, oh man, that sounds delicious. Thanks, Jen. Glad you found the place okay. Over here at Virtual Tellus360. I miss real Tellus360 and all of my friends who work there and hang out there, some of whom are some of you. So miss you guys, and we look forward to the day that we can all safely gather again and do shows in the many great rooms of Tellus360. We're gonna do all us musicians are and clubs. We're gonna get together and do something kick ass once it's finally allowed to come down again. I'm not trying to advertise Polar Seltzer here, but if anybody from Polar Seltzer happens to be watching and you want to sponsor me and send me some money or free seltzer, I drink a lot of Polar Seltzer on the air these days, folks. Not always Polar, to be honest. I'm not really a brand specific man when it comes to seltzer. I'll also drink a La Croix. Sometimes I buy Polar, sometimes I buy Polar. Sometimes I purchase Polar. Sometimes I buy La Croix. It just depends on who's got the lowest price. What's the sale, Everything's got a price, including seltzer, especially seltzer. But if anybody from a seltzer company is watching this broadcast, I'm willing to whore myself out to your particular brand of seltzer. You send me some money. I'm a musician and there ain't no gigs. Come on now, seltzer companies. What are you doing? This was actually meant to be a lead into the next song, and it just kind of got away from me as everything else does. Hi, Jenny. Great to see you, virtual you. The lead-in was going to be that I wrote a drinking song about non-alcoholic beer I want to play for you guys. I wrote this one just a couple of months ago, just before the big sicky sick came down, and It's been about a year and a half now since I had an alcoholic beverage. Like many of my profession, which is musician and vagabond type, generally, alcohol was problematic for me. So nowadays, when I go to a gig, or just now when I don't go to gigs, because now all I do is not go to gigs, I like to have a non-alcoholic beer. It tastes, if you get a good one, it tastes like beer, kinda. And it's like a nice little reward beverage. It trips those reward dopamine mechanisms in the brain and stuff without actually getting you drunk. And after I started drinking enough of these non-alcoholic beers, I thought, well, has anybody ever written a drinking song about non-alcoholic beer? Here's where I come in. I have now. And it's called Non-Alcoholic Beer. I'll do this one for you. There's a mild parental advisory on this one in case any of your parents are watching.
I put down the bottle, been just about a year. Lately I've been drinking on some of that non-alcoholic beer. Now whenever some goon at some local saloon come round to make a thing, ask me what I'm drinking on, I just lift my glass and sing. Here's mud in your eye, buddy in mine, let's go down to the well. We might never get to heaven, man, but we sure dry out in hell. Well, it won't get you drunk and it don't get you laid. What it'll get you ain't precisely clear, but you won't get jailed and your liver won't fail 'cause of non-alcoholic beer. You play rock star boy, making all that noise just to hit yourself to sleep on a greasy spot in the parking lot, praying the devil your soul to keep. Well, you're halfway to hell and you're starting to smell police screaming in your ear, and the whole world sucks and you wish you'd have stuck to some non-alcoholic beer. Here's mud in your eye, buddy of mine, let's go down to the well. We might never get to heaven, man, but we'll sure dry out in hell. Well, it won't get you drunk and it don't get you laid. Well, it'll get you ain't precisely clear, but you won't wake up to find everything's fucked 'cause of non-alcoholic beer. Oh, it sure ain't gonna make me handsome, and it sure ain't gonna make you pretty. And I probably won't go home with you, and I won't get to touch your, I swear I don't get around the way I used to do, I fear. But my hands don't shake and my teeth don't break 'cause of non-alcoholic beer. Here's mud in your eye, buddy of mine, let's go down to the well. We might never get to heaven, man, but we'll sure dry out in hell. Well, it won't get you drunk and it don't get you laid. Well, it'll get you ain't precisely clear, but you won't get jailed and your liver won't fail 'cause of non-alcoholic beer. No, you won't wake up to find everything's fucked 'cause of non-alcoholic beer. Kinda tastes like shit, but you'll warm up to it that non. Talking about that non-alcoholic beer.
Song fades to bird song. I love that. It's one nice thing about this whole thing. The birds take over at the end of every song. Maybe you guys aren't hearing that. It sounds like I'm just ranting incoherently about birds. But these sensitive microphones are picking up all the bird song, and I can hear them in my headphones. It's pretty cool. So that song's called Non-Alcoholic Beer, another real new one of mine that I wrote a couple months ago. I've written a couple of songs since being in quarantine. The first one was called The Social Distancing Rag, and it was a funny song meant to get laughs, and it got more views than any video I've ever made. I forget how many thousand it got, but like more than anything. I guess, I was playing poker with dogs in it. That probably helped. I had a scene where I was playing poker with a couple of dogs here in the studio. If you want to look that up, you can look it up on the YouTube channel. I should flash you guys my YouTube channel, by the way. Would you subscribe to this? It would really help me out. It won't cost you anything. There's the address. I post new content several times a week. When I do these broadcasts, they go right to YouTube after this. So my broadcasts get archived on YouTube. And I also do videos of new original songs, videos of covers, travel narrative type videos, lots of different stuff. And I'm trying to get my subscribers up to 1,000 because then YouTube will consider monetizing me and I can make some revenue that way. You know, you got to scoop up all the nickels and dimes you can when you're in the music business because the music business doesn't give a shit about you. So if you guys would be so kind as to visit that site and hit subscribe, I would sure appreciate seeing that. I think I'm about 25% of the way to where I need to be. Long way to go. But anyway, the social distancing rag song that I wrote earlier in the quarantine is on there, complete with Poker with Dogs. But this week I wrote another new song about the experience I've been having being quarantined. And I live alone with my dog Ringo and several other dogs that are occasionally here. It's like a dog hotel. They check in, they check out. We had a spider living in the bathroom stall for a while, but I noticed one day that he hadn't moved in days, and I poked him, and he was definitely really dead. So he's gone now. We've got some house centipedes that occasionally come by, and the other day, a salamander hitchhiked a ride home on a wild mushroom that I'd picked. Other than that, it's just me here, no other humans. And it's interesting, you know, being, some of you guys might be quarantined alone too, or with family. That brings its own set of challenges, I would imagine. But it's interesting being kind of shut away by yourself. It's not that much different than my life was because I was kind of an introvert, but obviously my full-time performing schedule, 200 gigs a year, made it so that I came into contact with a lot of other people that I don't now. So I wrote this new song kind of about what it's like, the different mental states and such of quarantine. It's called Alone. And this is the very first time I've ever played this song for anyone. I posted a recording of it for my Patreon subscribers last night after I wrote it, and this is the first time performing it, so we'll see how this goes. This is called Alone. Music of the quarantine. Sometimes it's hard not to listen when thoughts that assemble like crows in the branches call, let me in. We come bearing these terrible truths, for we can't help noticing that you're alone. Consider the window pane. Sometimes it's a hole in the wall, other times it's a picture frame. And today it's a picture of clouds and rain. Seems to rain a lot when you're alone. Everyone says we'll be happier when we're together again. I'll still be on my own. I don't think this looks like the end of all things, but then how the hell would I know? I wanna be free. I know that freedom's the truth of the heart, not a matter of where you go. But you can get caught in the light of your screen as though it could save your soul when you're alone. La da da, la da da, la da da da, la da da, da, la da da. Everyone says we'll be happier when we're together again. I'll still be on my own. I don't think this looks like the end of all things, but then how the hell would I know? I wanna be free. I know
that freedom's the truth of the heart, not a matter of where you go. I guess it won't hurt anybody though, if I dream of you when I'm alone, wondering what you do when you're alone.
Brand new song for you. First time ever playing it, and I didn't train wreck it too bad. That's cool. Sometimes you play a new song for the first time and the guitar just explodes in your hand or something. It's a scary process. Yeah, well, that's a good point, Jim. Do they make sparkling water? I guess they probably do. If they want to sponsor me, anything that you see me using on the air, if the company wants to send me some for free, I'm all for it, really. It's about time I did another cover song for you. Take a little break from myself. It's a little Neil Young for you.
Come a little bit closer, hear what I have to say. Just like children sleeping, we could dream this night away. But there's a full moon rising, let's go dancing in the light. We know where the music's playing, let's go out and meet the night. Because I'm still in love with you, I wanna see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon. When we were strangers, I watched you from afar. When we were lovers, I love you with all my heart. But now it's getting late, and the moon is riding high. I wanna celebrate, see it shining in your eyes. because I'm still in love with you. I wanna see you dance again, because I'm still in love with you. Oh, Miss Harvest Moon. Because I'm still in love with you. I wanna see you dance again, because I'm still in love with you. Oh, Miss Harvest Moon.
It's a pretty one, ain't? Harvest Moon by Neil Young. That's a lot of people's songs. You know how people have a "that's our song" song. Whenever I play that song in public, somebody comes up and tells me it's their song. Makes sense. It's a pretty one. I want to tell you about a couple of things quick, folks. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be performing a song in a here on the Tellus page again in a Zoom isolation music review my friend Kelly is putting together. We did one last weekend on Saturday night, and I was a little bit skeptical of how it was going to be playing in a Zoom with all these other people in little squares like the Brady Bunch, but it was really fun. It was like hanging out with buddies, and I really enjoyed it. And we're doing it again tomorrow. Last week we raised money for the staff at McCleary's Pub, another music venue around in Lancaster County here, where we used to hold these reviews. And, of course, as we know, restaurant and bar staff are out of work right now. And unlike musicians, I'm lucky in a way, because at least I can play music online for tips, because folks have been pretty generous. And I'm sure y'all are tipping generously as we speak. But bartenders can't really go online and mix drinks for tips. It doesn't work quite the same way. I mean, it might work once for a novelty, but a lot of those folks are hurting financially. So tomorrow night we're going to be raising money for some of the Tellus service staff with this Zoom review. So you can tune in. There will be a whole bunch of different great local musicians playing songs that were in the top 10 the year we were born. Interesting. I'm not going to tell you what mine is. You'll have to tune in and find out, but there's some real interesting selections going on. There will be a couple of trivia rounds. It's fun. It's interactive. There's an event invitation on going around online. Tellus360 isolation review, something like that. I'll post it on my page tomorrow for sure. Look for that. That'll have the Zoom invite, the Zoom meeting number or whatever it's called that you need to get to come in and watch. It's a public thing. Everybody can come in. So check that out. And then Sunday at 1 p.m., every week for the past month or so, I've been doing a Sunday Beatles brunch at 1 p.m. Who doesn't feel good when they hear Beatles music? Most people do. There are some people who don't, I know, but I can't take them into account in this because I love the Beatles, and so do a lot of other people. So I get on at 1 p.m. on Sunday. I play Beatles songs, and for that day, all of the tips get donated to a local community-based organization. I've been donating the money to food banks, different charities like that, a bunch of different places that provide meals and shelter and clothing for people who are struggling right now, because now, at a time when everyone's struggling, it is a really rough time if you were struggling already. If you were already homeless and then the COVID epidemic hit, that's a really rough go. I'm not sure what the charity is going to be yet this week. I'll be selecting that in the next day or two, but you can rest assured it'll be something that's going to do some good in the community. And me and my listeners have raised over $1,400 for local community based charities in the past month, in the month of April. I feel really good about that, and I invite you to be a part of it and to enjoy some Beatles songs. There's another way that I'm not sure where Jim is saying that this money goes to, but it looks like they're collecting money for some sort of aid here with this event, Tipsy Friday. Look for that on Facebook, find out more about it. In the streets there are no cars, there is no light. In the forest owls are waking up the night. In the houses, in the bedrooms, out of sight, people are dreaming. Do they sleep because there's nothing else to do? Do they dream because in dreams they're born anew? To discover when they wake they'll have become one of the good ones. I don't expect a lot, I ask too much, and I lean upon my anger like a crutch. Even though I realize it's such a sad way to go on. Outside the rain falls and the churches ring their bells, believing most of us will die and go to hell. If God's good, you know I'm sure that he can tell one of the good ones. Contraptions of skin over bone were not made to be good, exploding or sinking like stones. Darling, if I could, I would call back the reckless words I let fly. I see you written on the teardrops in your eyes. I hope that you can see how hard I try. I will try again. Maybe it's good enough to know we can be free of the rusty chains of time and misery. I will do everything that I can do to be one of the good ones. Contraptions of skin over bone were not made to be good, exploding or sinking like stones. Darling, if I could, I would keep you with me here tonight under the stars.
but instead you'll catch a plane you'll call a car. I'll always tell everyone I know that you are one of the good ones.
Alrighty, folks. I'm going to do a couple more for you and get out of here and feed my dog and feed myself. And yeah, campfire music. That's the stuff. That's been one of the things that's really been a sanity preserving activity for me. I might do it tonight. Go out in the backyard and light up a campfire. Just sit there and stare at it. For a while, I was getting into the habit of just staring at the TV a lot at nighttime, and then I thought, I'd rather stare into a campfire. That hits all those primordial circuits in our brain, all the who knows how many millions of years we spent staring at campfires, before there were ever TVs. Sure appreciate you folks tuning in tonight. I know it's a little early. I usually do my Friday night show at 8 p.m., but when Tellus360 reached out to see about collaborating on something, I jumped at the chance to work with those folks. Always have loved working with them ever since they came to Lancaster and opened up as a wood shop. They've been a positive presence in the community and are still continuing to be, even now that they're closed down and everything's closed down. But we'll all be back there again, folks. We will all meet in public by and by. And when we do, it'll be all the sweeter and all the more raucous, I hope. And there'll be guitars, and there'll be drinks, possibly tacos. Let me tell you about this little club I've got here on a page called Patreon. It is a platform for creative types like myself to help us earn a living, because Lord knows the creative professions are among the most difficult to earn a living in. Do you realize how exhausting it is to constantly have to convince people, or constantly be having to try to advertise to people your own value or the value of what you do? It can be very exhausting. So I'm not much for the savvy promotion and marketing type stuff. I try to put everything that I do out there and make it available to people and just be honest about it. And that's about the most I can do. So this is a platform for those who appreciate my work and want to support me, much in the same way that you would support your favorite public radio station because you like the kind of work that they do. Patreon, it provides recurring monthly support for artists of all sorts: musicians, dancers, photographers, videographers, podcasters, probably snake charmers. I haven't looked, but I bet they're on there too. And the way mine works is, if you want to check it out, you can see how it works. I explain it on the site right there, patreon.com/myname. The way that it works is you pledge a certain amount. Let's say it's $1. That sounds reasonable, right? Most people can swing $1. And I put out a video, and I get $1 for it. And the platform asks you how much you want to spend tops each month. Let's say you say $3, no more than $3 on any given month. If I go nuts and put out 800 videos in the month of May, you'll still only pay that $3. But you put enough of that together, I think now in the pandemic times, I'm coming up on maybe 40-ish patrons, 40-ish subscribers. You put that all together and it equals some tangible income for me each month that I can predict and that I can count on. And that means a lot, especially now. Music gigs were one of the first things to go away when the pandemic came down, and they probably won't be one of the first things to come back. Restaurants are taking a hard hit now. They might not be able to pay us to come in and play in the bars and the restaurants for a while. and not that many people might be able to be in the room at the same time. So I'm going to be making my living online for the foreseeable future. So if you dig what I do, if you find some value, you can invest in me for the price of a cup of coffee a month, let's say, here on Patreon. And in exchange for that, you get access to everything I make. That there's a brand new recording of that new song I played earlier out now that's up there for my patrons only. They get dibs on song requests and different pre-access and early access and exclusive access to different stuff. Everything I make goes up there. So that's my little pitch. I got to tell you all about it during the show, because how else would you know? Yeah. And if it sounds like something that might be for you, if you'd like to add the jazzy title Patron of the Arts to your name, there's where you can check it out and look into it. Thanks for hearing out my spiel. Mom's saying she misses Tellus360's shepherd's pie. And man, Tellus360 does make a fine shepherd's pie. I've been to Ireland. I've eaten the shepherd's pie. Tellus is the real deal. Which, of course, because there's a ton of Irish people there. So they know what they're doing when it comes to pouring Guinness and making shepherd's pie.
Someplace I get back to, a place to hang my hat and take off my clothes. Imagine living life that way, always running away from the law of the landlord. At least you don't get bored when you're on your toes. There's always someplace you'd rather be, seen it on TV or in a magazine. Calling her the great unknown. We got a mobile home. We got a mobile home in the Catskills. We got a mobile home. We got a mobile home in the Catskills. The telephone don't ring here, bottles and cans don't pay the bills. Well, I don't ask much of you, be there to help me through life's spooky hollow. You don't have to swallow my philosophy. I don't tell you where to buy clothes, and I don't care where your money goes, just as long as it's yours. Let me die dirt poor if I wanna be, with my hot plates and coffee machine, tabloid magazine and the radio. Black flowers in the kerosene, policemen in the town below. We got a mobile home. We got a mobile home in the Catskills. We got a mobile home. We got a mobile home in the Catskills. Telephone don't ring yet, bottles and cans don't pay the bill. Hey. that old market all night till there's light in the window. I'm a pipe dreamer, I've been told. I don't know if it's bold or just blind as bad shit to the world that the rest of the world knows. But there's something in the wind says come in, get out, and come back again. Sit down, where have you been? We know you get hung up in that skull all alone. We got a mobile home. We got a mobile home in the Catskills. We got a mobile home. We got a mobile home in the Catskills. Telephone don't ring here. Bottles and cans don't pay the bill. We got a mobile home. We got a mobile home in the Catskills. We got a mobile home. We got a mobile home in the Catskills. Telephone don't ring here. I don't believe it ever will.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, folks. Hi, Geraldine. Nice to see you. I'm going to do one more song for you. My name's Leo DiSanto. If we don't know each other, I hope we will from now on. You can follow my Facebook page, Leo DiSanto. It's a music page. It's got a picture of me kissing a mandolin on it right now, I think. Making out with a mandolin. I don't know what that was all about. Just giving that mandolin some love, I guess, for leaving it hung up on the wall so long. And you can find me on all the usual places. LeoDiSanto.com, YouTube, Instagram, not Twitter. I don't tweet. I leave the tweeting to the Boyds. I don't do no tweeting. Perhaps I'm not pithy enough. I don't know. Might be a little too long-winded for Twitter. And it seems just kind of like a cesspool to me, but I don't know. You know, what do I know? Please join us on the Tellus360 page tomorrow night for the Zoom review to raise funds to provide at least a small amount of relief, hopefully for the service workers of Tellus360 who have been so good to you during your visits there and so good to me for years now during all of my time working in the bar and in all the various venues. That's at 8 p.m. tomorrow night on Facebook. Please join me also in raising some money for local charities on Sunday, 1 p.m. on my Facebook page, the Beatles Brunch, Sunday Beatles Brunch. If you dig the Beatles, you might want to check this one out. And of course, if you've enjoyed tonight's broadcast and you can spare a few bucks, here's how you can send those my way. I am making my sole living off of the tips that I make playing online these days and the subscriptions to my Patreon page. So it sure is greatly appreciated, though not expected. And again, if it's tough for you right now, no worries whatsoever. I'm still glad you are here and hope I get to play for you again soon.
You're a strange bird for certain. From where do you come, my friend? Yes, you're a strange bird for certain. Where do you come, my friend? If the solemn birds of autumn leave me lonesome, would you fly this way again? Well, I loved you in the summer, and I lost you in the fall. Across the mountainside in winter, like a shadow across the wall. Where the starlight through the snow down was so blinding, I could barely see it all. What's the news from California, pretty bird? I hear it's fine this time of year. They're picking fruit and combing beaches. Well, at least that's what I hear. It's so cold in Pennsylvania, will I see you when the weather's free and clear? Alcatraz comes from an old Spanish word. For strange birds, it's true. Yes, Alcatraz comes from an old Spanish word. For strange birds, it's true. Maybe someday on some broken shore, someone will name a prison after you. You're a strange bird for certain. From where do you come, my friend? Yes, you're a strange bird for certain. From where do you come, my friend? If the solemn birds of autumn leave me lonesome, would you fly this way again?
Thank you all so very much. It's been really fun to play for you tonight. Good question, Steph. I'm not certain what the link is going to be to donate tomorrow night. You'll be able to find the link for the show tomorrow on the Tellus360 Facebook page. If you want to look for it in advance, there's an event invite out there. I think it's called the Tellus Isolation Review. If you put those words into the search engine, it should come up. It'll be on the page tomorrow night at 8 p.m., and there'll be information on how you can donate. All right, folks, thank you so much. I'm going to ski-daddle. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much, everybody. Cheers.